Hood low over my forehead, I peer across the meadow as the last light of day basks my castle in orange. I watch the windows as one by one lights spring forth as someone within ignites the torches in the passageways. Trying to identify the forms passing the glass panes, I squint, eager for any glimpse of my family. A gale sweeps through the trees and I hug my cloak to my middle.
I do not often see anyone in these woods.
I jump at the sound of Grant's voice and fight the instinct to spin to face him. Heart pounding, I assess my options. My Fae-at-Arms, or former Fae-at-Arms, will know my voice. I love how the castle looks as the last light graces it. I raise my tone an octave, praying he will not recognize me.
Odd that I have not seen you here before.
Perhaps I blend into the landscape well then. I come here to be alone and think.
You should not be in the forest after dark. Even the Queen's Wood shelters danger.
The Queen's Wood? They have named my forest the Queen's Wood? My anxiety at being found mixes with longing. It is nice she is honored in this way, I say.
Did you know the Queen?
Leaves rustle behind me, and I glance down, catching sight of his boot. I have only seen her in the village with her cousins.
You live in the village. I can escort you home.
I feel the heat from his body as he approaches. No. I tug the sides of my hood over my cheeks. As I said, I come here often. I will be fine.
As you wish.
The ground crunches, and the air behind me cools. I tuck my chin to my chest and wait. I catch sight of him exiting the forest and crossing the meadow. As he enters the orchard, his form disappears behind the tree trunks. I jump into the air and weave through the trees. Heart in my throat, I descend to my porch, boots thudding onto the wood planks. That had been too close. Inhaling, I enter the cabin.
That sounded like a hard landing.
Nicholas, one of my most trusted guards from the palace, says. I shed my cloak and hang it beside the door. I saw Grant in the wood. The Queen's Wood. Why have I not been told they named my forest?
You spoke with Grant?
Adam, another trusted guard from my palace, jumps up. Yes, he found me. He did not see my face, and I tried to alter my pitch. That is not the point. I raise my hands to my hips.
We did not wish to cause you further strife, and you should not torture yourself by going there. What if you were recognized? What would you do then?
I know. Pulling the chair from the table, I slump into the seat opposite my ward. I lift my eyes to meet his. Were you nice to Adam and Nicholas?
Yes, I was nice to my babysitters.
Theron, in his Fae form, rolls his eyes. I lean forward. We do not have babies in Middle-earth. We have younglings. Adam slides a book across the tabletop to me.
They say this is the last one.
Lifting the thick text from the tabletop, I turn to the page marked with a leather strap. Lines connect names, Lilith to an unknown being, begetting the vampire lines. A second line, opposite the first, links Lilith to an unnamed archangel, creating the witch lines. Sonia's name hovers under the witch lines. Was she Lilith's daughter? Surely Sonia, former high priestess of the witch lines, now transformed into an archangel who resides in Sheol with Abaddon and Lucifer, could not be that old. Recalling Sonia's threat, I shudder. You've no idea who I am, who my parents are. I will be reconciled, even if I have to move heaven and earth to do it. Next time a volcano erupts or an earthquake rumbles through the bedrock, you will be witnessing my reach. The faded day above the desert echoes through my psyche. My death, the witch's circumvention of my untimely passing to the afterlife, and the pledge I made scroll through my thoughts. My reach will be limitless as well. But here I am a whole season later, with no clearer a picture of how to stop Sonia than the day I burned the page alerting me of her promise.